Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that the biggest thing holding you back isn't a lack of talent, money, or opportunity? It's the excuses you repeat every single day. Right now, someone with less intelligence, fewer resources, and more problems than you is winning simply because they have one thing you may not: self-discipline. Over the next few minutes, you're going to discover the mindset that separates winners from everyone else. If you're ready to stop making excuses and start changing your life forever, then stay with me, because this message could completely transform the way you think. And there is one quality that separates dreams from reality, average people from exceptional people, and temporary success from lasting greatness. It is not talent, it is not luck, it is not intelligence, it is self-discipline, and every person has dreams. Every person has goals. Every person has moments when they imagine a better future. But imagination alone changes nothing. Wishing changes nothing. Talking about success changes nothing. The bridge between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow is built with self-discipline. And self-discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. It means choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. It means staying committed after the excitement disappears. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can feel inspired after watching a video or reading a quote. But discipline continues working when motivation disappears. And the truth is, your future is not created by the big decisions you make once a year. It is created by the small decisions you make every single day. Every morning you choose whether to wake up early or hit the snooze button. Every evening you choose whether to work on your goals or waste hours doing nothing productive. Every meal, every workout, every book you read, every skill you practice, every promise you keep to yourself shapes the person you become. And life rewards consistency more than intensity. And many people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They say, I'll start next Monday. I'll begin next month. I'll work hard when I feel ready. But successful people understand something different. They know that waiting is one of the biggest enemies of progress. They start before they feel ready. They act before everything feels perfect. They understand that action creates confidence, and your feelings are temporary, but your habits become permanent. And there will be mornings when you feel tired. There will be days when nothing seems to be working. There will be moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. Those are the moments that define your future, because every time you continue despite discomfort, you become stronger than you were yesterday. And discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. At first, waking up early feels difficult. Exercising feels uncomfortable. Studying feels boring. Saving money feels challenging. But every time you choose discipline over excuses, your mind becomes stronger. Eventually, the things that once seemed impossible become part of who you are. And remember this, comfort is expensive. And comfort steals dreams quietly. It tells you that one more hour of sleep won't matter. One missed workout won't matter. One skipped opportunity won't matter. One day of procrastination won't matter. But one day becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. 1 month becomes 1 year. Suddenly, you look back and realize that your biggest regret was not failing. It was never fully trying, and self-discipline protects you from that regret. And the world is full of distractions. Every minute, something is competing for your attention. Your phone, social media, entertainment, endless notifications, negative opinions, and unnecessary arguments all fight to steal your focus. But discipline teaches you to protect your attention. because your attention is your most valuable resource. And where your attention goes, your life follows. And if you spend your time learning, growing, and improving, your future will reflect those choices. If you spend your time complaining, comparing yourself to others, and chasing distractions, your future will reflect those choices too. And you cannot control everything that happens in life. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control other people's opinions. You cannot control unexpected challenges. But you can always control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control your discipline. And that is where your real power begins. And many people believe success is about making one huge breakthrough. In reality, success is usually the result of hundreds of small victories that nobody sees. It is choosing to practice when nobody is watching. It is reading another chapter when everyone else is scrolling through their phones. It is staying focused while others are making excuses. And greatness grows quietly before the world notices it. And the strongest people are not always the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to give up. They understand that discipline is not about being perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has bad days. Everyone loses focus sometimes. The difference is that disciplined people do not stay down. They learn from their mistakes, adjust their actions, and continue moving forward, and never let one bad day become an excuse for a bad life. And one missed workout does not ruin your fitness. One mistake does not ruin your future. One failure does not define your story. What matters is how quickly you return to the path, and every sunrise gives you another opportunity to keep your promises to yourself. And think about the promises you have made, the goals you wanted to achieve, the person you wanted to become, the skills you wanted to learn, the habits you wanted to build. Now ask yourself one simple question. Are your daily actions matching your biggest dreams? And because dreams without discipline remain dreams. And your actions reveal your priorities more honestly than your words ever will. And there is incredible confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you complete a task you did not feel like doing, your self-respect grows. Every time you stay focused despite distractions, your confidence grows. Every time you choose responsibility over excuses, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you believed. And confidence is not built by talking. It is built by doing, and you do not become fearless before taking action. You become fearless because you continue taking action despite fear, and self-discipline also teaches patience. We live in a world that wants instant results. People want success overnight, wealth overnight, fitness overnight, and happiness overnight. But real growth happens slowly. A tree does not become strong in one day. A building is not completed in 1 hour. Excellence is built one brick at a time, and trust the process even when the progress feels invisible. And every page you read is making you smarter. Every practice session is making you better. Every healthy choice is making you stronger. Every disciplined decision is shaping a future that you cannot fully see today. And one day, people may call you lucky. They may admire your success without seeing the years of sacrifice behind it. They may notice the results without understanding the discipline that created them. Let them believe what they want. You will know the truth. Success was earned through daily choices, quiet commitment, and consistent effort. And the most important battle you will ever fight is not against other people. It is against the voice inside your own mind that tells you to quit, delay, complain, or settle for less than your potential. Every day You have a choice. Listen to your excuses, or listen to your purpose. Follow comfort, or follow discipline. Stay where you are, or become the person you were created to be. And the power of self-discipline is not that it makes life easy. The power of self-discipline is that it makes you stronger than every challenge life places in your path. The moment you choose discipline over comfort, you begin changing your identity. You are no longer someone who simply talks about goals. You become someone who lives according to principles. That transformation is far more valuable than any achievement because achievements can come and go. But character stays with you for life. And your identity is shaped by what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly keep your promises, you become trustworthy. If you repeatedly face challenges instead of avoiding them, you become courageous. If you repeatedly work when others are resting, you become resilient. Every disciplined action sends a message to your mind about who you are. Over time, those messages become beliefs, and those beliefs become the foundation of your future. And never underestimate the power of a single disciplined choice. One chapter read today may inspire an idea that changes your career. 1 hour spent learning a new skill may open a door that has been closed for years. One decision to save instead of spend may give you opportunities when others are trapped by financial stress. Small choices seem insignificant in the moment, but they carry enormous weight over time. And success is rarely about dramatic moments. It is usually about ordinary moments handled with extraordinary consistency. The people who accomplish remarkable things are often doing simple tasks with relentless commitment. They show up when they do not feel inspired. They continue when progress is slow. They refuse to let temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions. And there will always be reasons to stop. You may feel tired after a long day. You may experience disappointment after giving your best effort. You may face criticism from people who do not understand your vision. You may even begin to question whether your hard work is worth it. During those moments, remember why you started. Remember the future you are building. Remember the people who believe in you. Most importantly, remember the promises you made to yourself, and discipline gives you the strength to honor those promises. And many people believe that freedom means doing whatever you want whenever you want. But real freedom comes from self-control. When you control your habits no longer control you. When you control your spending, money no longer controls your decisions. When you control your emotions, difficult situations no longer control your peace. Discipline is not a prison. It is the key that unlocks a life of purpose, confidence, and independence. And imagine waking up every morning knowing that you can trust yourself. Imagine setting a goal and believing without doubt that you will do everything possible to achieve it. Imagine facing obstacles without immediately searching for excuses. That kind of confidence cannot be bought. It cannot be borrowed. It must be earned through disciplined action repeated day after day. And every challenge you overcome prepares you for a greater responsibility. Life has a way of testing you before rewarding you. It asks whether you can stay committed when the results are delayed. It asks whether you can remain focused while everyone else becomes distracted. It asks whether your dreams are strong enough to survive moments of discomfort. And those who answer these questions with disciplined action move forward while others remain where they started. And there is a hidden reward inside every difficult task. At first, all you notice is the effort. You notice the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, and the frustration. But hidden beneath all of that is growth, Every challenge stretches your abilities. Every obstacle teaches you something valuable. Every setback builds emotional strength that cannot be learned from easy victories. And pressure does not create character. It reveals it. And when life becomes difficult, disciplined people do not panic. They return to their routines. They focus on the next right action instead of worrying about the entire journey. They understand that progress is made one step at a time. Even the tallest mountain is climbed by taking one step after another, and never allow the size of your dream to make you afraid of beginning. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person once struggled with uncertainty. Every confident speaker once felt nervous. Every skilled professional once made mistakes. What separated them from everyone else was not perfection. It was persistence, and discipline teaches you to value progress over perfection, and perfection often becomes an excuse for procrastination. People delay taking action because they fear making mistakes. They wait until everything feels right. But life does not reward those who wait endlessly. It rewards those who improve continuously. The first attempt may not be impressive. The second may still have flaws. The 10th may still require improvement. But with every disciplined effort, you move closer to excellence. And growth is impossible without repetition. And think about the strongest buildings in the world. They stand because their foundations were carefully built long before anyone admired the structure. The same is true for your life. Your habits are your foundation. If your foundation is built on discipline, responsibility, honesty, and hard work, you can withstand storms that would destroy weaker foundations. And the opinions of others become less powerful when you know who you are. Discipline gives you that certainty. Instead of chasing approval, you begin chasing improvement. Instead of comparing yourself with someone else's journey, you compare yourself with the person you were yesterday. That mindset changes everything because your greatest competition has never been another person. It has always been the limits you place on yourself. And every day gives you a chance to raise those limits. And there are moments when nobody will applaud your efforts. Nobody will notice the sacrifices you are making. Nobody will celebrate the hours you spend preparing while others are relaxing. Those quiet moments are where true greatness is developed. The applause comes later. The recognition comes later. First comes the discipline, and the world often celebrates results, but overlooks preparation. Yet preparation is where victories are truly won. Long before success becomes visible, disciplined people have already invested countless hours into becoming worthy of it. And do not become discouraged if your progress seems slow. A seed remains hidden beneath the soil before anyone sees a tree. During that invisible season, important work is taking place. Roots are growing deeper. Strength is developing quietly. In the same way, your disciplined efforts are building abilities that others cannot yet see. And one day those hidden efforts will become impossible to ignore. And there is no shortcut to becoming the best version of yourself. Every shortcut eventually demands a greater price. Easy choices often create difficult lives. Difficult choices often create easier lives. Choosing discipline today may feel uncomfortable, but it prevents much greater pain in the future. And your future self is depending on the decisions you make today. Every disciplined action is a gift to the person you are becoming. Every healthy habit protects your future health. Every hour spent learning expands your future opportunities. Every challenge you face with courage prepares you for responsibilities that have not yet arrived. and act as if your future is watching every decision you make, because in many ways it is. And the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your daily standards. Raise your standards and your habits will begin to change. Raise your standards and excuses become unacceptable. Raise your standards and average effort no longer satisfies you. When your standards rise, your actions naturally begin to follow, and do not fear discipline. Fear a life where your potential remains unused. Fear reaching the end of your journey wondering what could have happened if you had simply stayed committed. Fear allowing temporary comfort to steal permanent opportunities. And inside every person is a stronger version waiting to emerge. That version is not created by comfort, it is revealed through discipline. Every obstacle removes a layer of doubt. Every sacrifice strengthens your resolve. Every challenge shapes your mindset into something more powerful than it was before. And the greatest victories are often invisible at first. They happen when you choose patience over frustration. They happen when you choose responsibility over blame. They happen when you choose effort over excuses. Those quiet victories accumulate until one day they become extraordinary success that everyone else calls impossible. And impossible is often just a word used by people who stopped trying too soon. The human spirit is capable of far more than most people ever discover, but that potential is unlocked only through discipline. Every time you push yourself beyond what feels comfortable, you expand your limits. Every time you refuse to surrender, you prove that your determination is stronger than your doubts. And there will be seasons in your life when progress feels invisible. You will work hard and wonder why nothing seems to be changing. You will invest time, energy, and effort without seeing immediate rewards. Those are the moments when discipline matters most. Anyone can stay committed when the results are obvious. The real test comes when you have to believe in your future before there is any visible evidence that your efforts are paying off. And faith in your own work is built through consistency. And imagine a sculptor standing before a massive block of stone. One strike of the hammer changes almost nothing. 10 strikes still reveal very little. 100 strikes may seem to accomplish only small improvements. But eventually, the shape begins to appear. People who walk by at that moment may think the final strike created the masterpiece. But they never saw the thousands of disciplined actions that made it possible. And your life is no different, and every disciplined day is another strike against the stone. Every early morning adds another piece to your future. Every hour of learning sharpens your mind. Every challenge faced with courage shapes your character. Even when nothing appears to change on the outside, something remarkable is happening within you. And never confuse slow progress with no progress. And the strongest people are often the ones who have learned how to remain patient. They understand that worthwhile goals require time. A powerful body is not built in a week. A successful career is not built in a month. Meaningful relationships are not built in a day. Financial security is not created overnight. Every lasting achievement is the result of countless disciplined choices made over an extended period of time. And patience without discipline becomes waiting. Discipline with patience becomes progress. And there are people who spend years searching for the secret to success while ignoring the simple habits that create it. They want extraordinary results without ordinary discipline. They admire successful people, but avoid the daily routines that produced that success. They celebrate achievements without appreciating the sacrifices behind them, and do not fall into that trap. And the habits that seem boring are often the ones that change your life the most. Reading consistently may not feel exciting every day, but knowledge compounds. Exercising regularly may not produce instant results, but strength compounds. Saving small amounts of money may seem insignificant, but wealth compounds. Speaking kindly, acting honestly, and showing respect may seem like ordinary behaviors, but trust compounds. And life rewards what you repeatedly practice. And if you repeatedly practice excuses, excuses become your lifestyle. If you repeatedly practice discipline, excellence becomes your lifestyle. Every repetition strengthens a pathway in your mind until the difficult becomes familiar, and the familiar becomes automatic. And this is why your environment matters. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth instead of comfort. Spend time with those who challenge you to improve instead of giving you permission to settle. The people around you influence your standards more than you may realize. If everyone around you accepts mediocrity, it becomes easy to lower your expectations. But when you are surrounded by people who value discipline, integrity, and hard work, their example inspires you to become better. And at the same time, remember that no one can live your life for you, and advice can guide you. Books can teach you, mentors can encourage you, friends can support you, but eventually you must make the decision to take responsibility for your own future. Responsibility is one of the highest forms of self-discipline. It means refusing to blame circumstances for the life you are creating. It means asking yourself what you can do instead of complaining about what you cannot control. And that question changes everything. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of asking, why am I not successful yet? Ask, what skill do I need to improve? Instead of asking, why is life unfair? Ask, what action can I take today that moves me forward? And disciplined people focus on solutions because they understand that problems consume energy, but solutions create momentum. And momentum is one of the greatest rewards of discipline. In beginning, taking action requires tremendous effort. You must force yourself to begin. You must overcome resistance every single day. But after weeks and months of consistent effort, your habit begin working for you instead of against you. Action becomes easier, focus becomes stronger, confidence grows naturally because you have trained yourself to keep moving, and this is why the first step is often the hardest, and once you begin, the next step becomes easier, then another, then another. Before long, what once seemed impossible becomes your normal routine. People may look at your progress and assume it happened quickly, but they are seeing only the results, not the countless disciplined days that made those results inevitable. And do not measure your success only by achievements. Measure it by the person you are becoming along the way. Success without character is temporary. Success built on discipline lasts because it is supported by habits that continue producing results. And character is built in private, and it is built when no one is watching. It is built when no one will ever know the sacrifices you made. It is built when you choose honesty even when dishonesty would be easier. It is built when you keep working even though no one is applauding. It is built when you refuse to compromise your values for temporary rewards, and those private victories become public strength. And life has a remarkable way of presenting opportunities to people who prepare themselves. Opportunity often arrives without warning. When it comes, there is no time to suddenly develop discipline. You either prepared in advance or you did not. This is why disciplined people train even when there is no immediate reward. They understand that preparation always comes before opportunity, and when opportunity finally arrives, preparation turns it into success. And every obstacle you face today is also preparing you for something greater tomorrow. Difficult conversations teach courage. Failure teaches humility. Delays teach patience. Responsibility teaches maturity. Hard work teaches resilience. None of these lessons feel enjoyable while you are experiencing them, but each one strengthens you in ways comfort never could. And there is a version of yourself that already possesses the confidence, wisdom, and strength you admire. That version is waiting on the other side of disciplined action. Every time you refuse to quit, you move one step closer to becoming that person. And do not be discouraged by how far you still have to go. Instead, be encouraged by how far you have already come. Every lesson learned, every fear overcome, every habit improved is evidence that growth is taking place. Progress is not always dramatic. Often it is quiet, steady, and almost invisible until one day you realize you have become someone who can handle challenges that once seemed impossible. And that is the true power of self-discipline. It transforms not only what you accomplish, but also who you become. It strengthens your mind when circumstances try to weaken it. It gives you direction when distractions surround you. It gives you courage when fear whispers that you are not enough. It reminds you every single day that greatness is not reserved for a chosen few. It is available to anyone willing to make disciplined choices consistently, patiently, and relentlessly, one day at a time, regardless of obstacles, emotions, or temporary setbacks. And one day at a time, regardless of obstacles, emotions, or temporary setbacks, you continue moving forward because you understand that every disciplined decision is an investment in a future you have not yet seen. Most people underestimate what they can accomplish over the course of years because they become discouraged by what they cannot accomplish in a few days. They expect immediate transformation, and when it does not arrive, they begin questioning their potential instead of questioning their patience, and your potential has never been the problem. The problem is often the gap between what you expect and what real growth actually looks like. And growth is not always exciting. There are days when improvement feels invisible. There are weeks when your efforts seem to produce no measurable results. During those moments, remember that nature itself teaches the greatest lesson about discipline. The sun rises every morning without asking for applause. The seasons change one day at a time. Rivers carve through mountains not because of overwhelming force in a single moment, but because of consistent movement over many years. And consistency has a quiet power that dramatic effort can never replace. And you do not need to change your entire life in one day. You only need to win today, make today's decisions count, complete today's responsibilities, keep today's promises, learn today's lesson, face today's challenge with courage. Tomorrow will bring its own opportunities, but today's discipline builds tomorrow's confidence. And too many people spend their lives carrying the weight of yesterday while fearing tomorrow. Discipline teaches you to focus on the present moment because this is where your power exists. Yesterday cannot be changed, tomorrow has not arrived, but today is completely within your control, and every sunrise presents a new opportunity to become stronger than you were before. And think about the habits that quietly shape your life, the conversations you have with yourself, the books you choose to read, the people you spend time with, the food you eat, the way you respond to pressure, the standards you accept. These ordinary decisions may not seem significant on their own, but together they create the direction of your future, and your life always moves in the direction of your strongest habits. And if you want a different future, begin by building different habits. Do not wait until you feel motivated. Build systems that support discipline even when motivation disappears. Create routines that remove unnecessary decisions. Prepare before challenges arrive. Make it easier to choose what is right than what is comfortable. And the strongest routines are often simple. Wake up with purpose. Protect your time. Finish what you start. Speak with honesty. Learn something every day. Take care of your health. Show gratitude. Stay humble. These habits may appear ordinary, but when practiced consistently, they create an extraordinary life. And never allow temporary success to weaken your discipline, and success can become just as dangerous as failure if it causes you to become comfortable. Many people stop growing because they become satisfied early, they reach one goal and believe the journey is complete. But discipline reminds you that every achievement is another opportunity to grow, to serve, and to improve, and stay hungry for progress, not for praise, and praise fades quickly. Applause lasts only a few moments, recognition comes and goes, but the satisfaction of becoming a better person remains with you forever. That satisfaction comes from knowing you gave your best even when no one was watching. And there will always be people who misunderstand your commitment. Some will call you too serious. Others will say, you work too hard. Some may even laugh at your routines because they cannot understand why you choose discipline over comfort. Do not let their opinions distract you from your purpose, and people often criticize what they are unwilling to practice themselves, and respect everyone, but do not allow everyone to influence your direction. Listen carefully, but choose wisely whose advice you follow. Not every voice deserves equal space in your mind. Protect your thoughts as carefully as you protect your time, because both determine the quality of your future, and your inner conversation matters more than the conversations happening around you. And if you constantly tell yourself that you are weak, your actions will reflect that belief. If you tell yourself that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, your actions will begin matching that belief instead. Discipline includes controlling the words you speak to yourself, and replace doubt with determination. Replace excuses with responsibility. Replace fear with preparation. Replace comparison with improvement, and comparison steals joy because it shifts your focus away from your own journey. Someone will always be ahead of you in one area of life. Someone will always have different opportunities, different experiences, or different circumstances. None of that changes your responsibility to become the best version of yourself, and run your own race, and measure success by your progress, not by someone else's position. Celebrate every improvement, no matter how small. Every page you finish reading, every skill you improve, every healthy decision you make, every promise you keep strengthens the foundation beneath your future. And remember that confidence grows through evidence, and every disciplined action becomes evidence that you are capable. Every difficult task you complete reminds your mind that you can handle challenges. Over time, these small victories accumulate into unshakable belief. Real confidence is not pretending to be fearless. It is knowing that you have trained yourself to keep moving even when fear appears. And fear loses its power when action becomes your habit. And many dreams disappear not because they were impossible, but because they were abandoned too soon. Success often arrives just beyond the point where most people decide to quit. The difficult part is that you rarely know how close you are. That is why discipline matters. It keeps you moving when emotions cannot provide the answer, and keep planting seeds even if the harvest has not yet arrived. And the farmer does not dig up the seed every week to check whether it is growing. The farmer trusts the process, continues watering, and remains patient. Your goals require the same mindset. Continue learning, continue improving, continue preparing. Continue believing that today's effort is creating tomorrow's opportunities, and every challenge carries two gifts. One is the lesson it teaches. The other is the strength it develops. If you focus only on the difficulty, you miss both gifts. But if you approach every obstacle with discipline and a willingness to learn, every setback becomes another step toward wisdom, and nothing you experience is wasted if you are willing to learn from it. And mistakes are not signs that you should stop. They are signs that you are growing. Every master has made countless mistakes. Every leader has experienced failure. Every successful person has faced disappointment. The difference is that they refuse to allow temporary failure to become a permanent identity, and your identity should never be based on your worst moment, and you are not defined by one bad decision, one failed attempt, one rejection, or one difficult season. You are defined by your willingness to rise again. Discipline gives you that ability. It reminds you that every new day offers another chance to act with courage, wisdom, and determination. And there is incredible strength in simply refusing to quit. And sometimes progress is fast. Sometimes it is painfully slow. Both seasons are necessary. Fast progress builds excitement. Slow progress builds endurance. Excitement may help you begin the journey, but endurance is what carries you across the finish line. And the strongest people are not those who never struggle. They are the ones who continue growing through every struggle they face, and life will continue testing your commitment. It will ask whether your values remain strong during difficult moments. It will ask whether your discipline survives disappointment. It will ask whether your character remains steady when success finally arrives. Answer those questions not with words, but with actions repeated day after day. And let your discipline become so consistent that it no longer depends on your mood. Let your standards become so high that excuses no longer fit into your life. Let your commitment become so strong that temporary setbacks cannot shake your determination. Continue building your mind, strengthening your character, sharpening your skills, protecting your focus, honoring your responsibilities, and choosing the difficult path whenever it leads toward the person you know you are capable of becoming. Because every disciplined step you take today is quietly preparing you for opportunities, responsibilities, victories, and challenges that are still waiting just beyond the horizon, ready to meet the person you are steadily becoming through unwavering commitment and relentless daily action.